I'm going to show you every technique to open a bottle without a bottle opener. From the most useful, to the most fun, to the downright stupid. Starting with the most common technique everyone should know. The trick here is to create a lever using your hand as the fulcrum, so that when you push down on one side of the lever, the other side pushes up and pops the cap right off. A few classic options of things to use as a lever are a plastic lighter, a set of keys, and coins. The best way to do this is to rest your lever on your index finger. And you want to grip the bottle as tight as possible, because this will push the end of the lever up against the cap and it'll give you the most leverage. But here's the fun thing. You can do this with literally anything. I mean, you can do this with a chair, you can do this with a book, you can even do this with a phone, although you might end up damaging it. So here's my pro tip. Use someone else's. And if you're looking for a good party trick, you can even do this with a flimsy piece of paper. Now, from years of playing rock, paper, beer, we all know that beer beats paper every time. But if you fold the paper a few times, you'll have a lever that's sturdy enough to pop the cap right off. This technique is so versatile, but stick around because we've got some more awesome techniques to discover. The next technique really depends on your surroundings, but once you find the right spot, opening the bottle is so easy. For this technique, you want to rest the bottle cap on a ledge and then hit the top of the bottle. This pushes the bottle down, but the cap stays in place because it's resting on the ledge. But Ralph, I hear you ask, you said that you had to choose the right spot, but there's ledges everywhere. Here's a ledge, there's a ledge, and then there's this absolute freaking ledge. If you're gonna do this in something hard like brick, you've got to be quite careful. The idea is to hit the top of the bottle so that you move the bottle away from the ledge, and not to hit the bottle so that you're banging it against the hard ledge. Because you're gonna break the glass, it's gonna cut your wrists, and someone's gonna have to call an ambulance for your stupid ass. Isn't that right? And if you do this on something softer like wood, the bottle cap is going to leave a mark. So do it on things you don't mind scratching, like a tree branch, a work surface, or someone else's phone. And for a party trick, do this on something fragile, like a glass ledge. Don't do that. That's stupid. That's really rigged. The next technique is kind of like a 2-for-1 deal, because it unlocks two very similar but different ways to open a beer. So you're getting a bonus. So to do this, you want to find something long and sturdy, like a highlighter. And then you wedge one end under the bottle cap and simply tap the other end, and the bottle cap should come flying off. And for me, the most comfortable grip is to hold the beer with 2 fingers, and then hold the other thing with the other 2 fingers. And obviously, don't do this with anything sharp, unless you're trying to get those holy hands. And for the second way, you need to make sure your object is the same length or slightly longer than your beer. And instead of hitting the bottom of the object to hit the cap off, you want to bang the whole thing on the table. This pushes the bottle down, but the cap stays in place because it's resting on the object. And you can even do this with another beer, which is perfect when you're drinking with friends. But if you're drinking alone, who am I to judge? I've just spent the whole morning alone in my room opening beer bottles. What am I doing? And if you're looking for a party trick, you can use this technique to kick the beers open. Instead of banging the beers on the table, provide the pushing force by kicking the bottom beer with the back of your foot. That really hurt my fingers. If you want to see more of me hurting myself, hit that subscribe, because it seems to happen quite often. So the next technique actually requires the least amount of skill to open the beer, but it's only reserved for the veterans of bottling. There's a great Chinese proverb that goes, once you open your mind, the whole world becomes a bottle opener. So what actually is a bottle opener? It's just a sturdy little hole that you can fit about half the bottle cap through. With this technique, the challenge is to go out into the wild and find holes with those specific features. And once you find those holes, opening a bottle is as easy as using a bottle opener. Some pretty common examples are a door strike plate, the handle on a cupboard, or even a car. And again, it's quite a fun challenge with your friends to find the most unusual thing you can use as a bottle opener in the wild. So thank you, Confucius, for those very wise words. And if you're looking for a party trick, you can use a ring for this, because the hole in the ring is the perfect shape. Getting a ring to try this is probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most about marriage. That and the cake. I really like cake. The last one's not really a technique. It's more a collection of ways to seriously injure yourself that just happen to give you access to the contents of a bottle. They're all really stupid, and if you try them, you deserve everything you get. But in theory, it is possible to open a beer with a spinning wheel, just as long as you also want to break an arm or something. You can also pry open a bottle using your teeth, but you better have top-notch dental insurance. You can saber the top of the bottle off, because who doesn't like drinking razor-sharp shards of glass? And you can also use a chainsaw. Actually, this one seems fine. I don't see anything wrong with this. So that's pretty much every way you can open a bottle without a bottle opener. If you want to see me learn something else, you can click on one of these videos. That's it for now. See you next time.